Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I thought today would be the perfect time to talk about my experience with possibly having this Voldemort virus that is going around. I mentioned it in my birth story for my daughter that we may have had it, and I got a couple people who DM'd me and who commented that said they wanted to hear my story, so I thought what better time than now just to sit and talk about it with you guys. All right, so I put you guys on the window because there's like the worst lighting in my house, and I was going to buy a ring light and then this whole thing happened and I just have not gotten around to ordering it off of Amazon, and I just definitely should. I have lights, but they make me really, really white. Like this is a little bit better because it's a little more natural, but we're just gonna go with it. And we're going to talk about what happened the week that I had my daughter. So if you guys didn't already know, my name is Kathleen Hart. If you're new to my channel, I have a 2-year-old toddler named Austin. My husband's name is Jason. I have 3 chows, and I also have a baby girl who was just born this year on March 16th. That being said, this whole thing kind of spiraled out of control the week that she was born, maybe a couple days earlier, and then depending on where you guys are in the country, it kind of like slowly spiraled out of control with the social distancing and the like self-quarantining and like all of that, literally like right around the time she was born. On the 16th, fun fact, is when Disney actually closed their doors. So Disney World. I'm not sure about California. I just know about Florida. But yeah, so Disney closed their doors the day she was born. It like, the S hit the fan, literally. So what happened that week? My daughter was born on Monday, March 16th. My battery is gonna die. But also guys, sorry for the background. Like obviously, I haven't made my bed. I have gotten so much more housework done. Just my bed just wasn't it. Let me change the battery. Thank God that I have more than one battery for this camera. Okay, so the week that my daughter was born, she was born on a Monday, the 16th of March, 2020. That day, we went into the hospital, me and my husband, when I was having contractions around 5 a.m.-ish. Well, my son, my 2-year-old, he actually woke up. My mom and my sister were here, and they woke up to him having a throw up on him. So he like threw up sometime in the early morning. I'm at the hospital giving birth, literally 9 a.m. she was born. So he woke up at like 7:30. He was sick. He had a bad day. It was not a good day for him. So he was like acting really lethargic and really weird. And my mom was just like, maybe he just misses you guys. Like she didn't know. And honestly, like we were giving birth, I was giving birth at the hospital. Like I couldn't just come home. Like that killed me to not be able to be home with him. I didn't know obviously that he was sick until later in the afternoon because I didn't talk to anybody. But when I did find out that he wasn't feeling good, it literally broke my little heart. It did. I cried. I'm not gonna lie. I was emotional from just giving birth, but I was so upset that I couldn't just like run out of there and be with him and I had the baby, and like it was just, it was bad. I felt so guilty. I cry about it if I think about it too much, so I need to not think about it. But anyway, so then they put him down for his regular nap time at 12:45, 1 o'clock-ish, and he woke up again and he had thrown up again. So it wasn't just like a fluke thing. It wasn't just like, oh, he didn't feel good and, you know, he had like, he just ate something weird or he was nervous or whatever. It was like apparent that like something was wrong. So around 4 or 5 o'clock when he woke up from his nap around 4, my husband, they called, or my mom and my sister called, and they were like, yeah, maybe he should come home. So I said to my husband, I'm like, you go home, I'm fine. Like I'm at the hospital, but you know how it is if you've ever given birth. Like everybody's there supporting you. Everybody's there helping you. So it wasn't like I was alone. Like I had the nurses there helping me and I knew what I was doing. So it wasn't that big of a deal for him to go home and be with my son. I much rather wanted him to be home with him. So my husband went home to be with my son. He gave him a bath, he cleaned him up, he made sure that like all the laundry was done and everything. So that was really good. And he actually slept there. So because I told him, I was like, just go home and be with him. I would much rather, I would go at home and be with him too if I could. So then Austin woke up on Tuesday morning, the day after, perfectly fine. perfectly fine. So for him, I would say this virus, whatever he ended up having, stomach bug, whatever it was, lasted from probably, if I had to guess, 6 a.m. until probably 6 p.m. So this was like a good solid 12 hours, because my husband said that once he got home and gave him a bath and sat with him and they were like just watching TV together that night, that he was fine. He didn't have a fever that we know of, but then again, no one really, it was kind of like a chaotic day with me giving birth, and then my mom and my sister were here, and it was a whole thing. So I don't think anybody actually took his temperature, so I can't go as far as to say like, yes, he had a fever or no, but he was 2, and we're pretty sure it lasted about 12 hours. So Tuesday, everybody's fine. Tuesday, everybody's fine. I'm in the hospital, I'm fine. Jay comes back to the hospital Tuesday to see us. He's fine. Everything is good. My mom ended up coming to watch Austin while he was napping, and then Jay came back before he was even awake. So he really wasn't without us for more than a couple hours on Monday, which was great, because I felt like if he was going to get sick again, one of us had to be there, and I couldn't. So Jay was the one that was there. But anyway, so Tuesday everything was fine. I'm still in the hospital. Wednesday I get discharged at 12 o'clock. Again, everybody is fine. Thursday, I wake up to find that my husband is really, really sick. Like, really sick. Like, stomach issues, everything. And it goes on for probably, he told me, 24 hours. So from Thursday at 3 a.m. until the next morning, Friday at about, I think he said like 8 o'clock when he like woke up, and then like he was, like he had coffee and he had some water and everything, and like by 8 o'clock, like 8 in the morning, he felt okay. So his was about 24 hours, maybe a couple extra hours in there. But mostly his problem was feeling achy, feeling nauseous, feeling stomach problems, feeling like the flu, but like amplified. And again, he didn't think he had a fever. We didn't take his temperature. I wish we did in hindsight, because that's kind of like one of the main symptoms of this Voldemort virus, as I'm calling it, because I don't know as far as YouTube and just what's going on right now with the words like the Q word and then the elusive virus word. They're kind of like blocking some of those videos, so that's why I'm kind of being a little vague, but it's March 2020. You guys know what I'm talking about. Actually, now it's April. So this happened in March, but you guys know what I'm talking about. So that's why I'm kind of using choice words. But anyway, he had it for about 24 hours. Fast forward, I was like, wow, maybe I'm just not going to get this. Like maybe everything's good, because I was getting to the end of the week and I still hadn't gotten sick. I felt fine. And I had just given birth. So I felt like Superwoman anyway, and then to not be pregnant anymore, and then to feel like I was getting to be normal, it was like the best feeling ever. And I was not getting sick, so I was like on top of the world. Then Friday came. So that end of the week, Friday came. I woke up feeling fine, and then we had dinner at normal time, and then it was around 7 o'clock, and I said to my son, I was like, all right, let's start bedtime routine. Let's go do a bath. 7 o'clock, we went up to do a bath. By the time I came back down at 7:30 from doing his bath time, I felt like death. What does death feel like? You just had a baby. What are you talking about? It's all relative, people, because yes, labor was hard. Yes, giving birth was hard. Yes, being pregnant was hard. This is a whole different kind of hard. If you've ever had the kind of throw up flu feelings, you know what I'm talking about. So I honestly felt off at 7, and then it progressively got worse and worse as my son's in the bathtub, and I'm just sitting there and I'm like, this is it. This is it. This is how I'm going to go out. It was getting worse and worse and worse. So I started feeling completely achy. Like my whole entire body was aching so bad. My back was hurting. My lower back was hurting. My legs were feeling sore. It was just all over aches and pains. Flu-like aches and pains. And then I started feeling intense chills to the point where I was shaking. I was like, oh my God, I'm so cold. At one point, after we put my son to bed, I was under the covers, 2 blankets on, 2 heavy blankets on the couch, with a heating pad like between my legs because I was so cold. I was just trying to get warm and I was like freezing. I had the blanket up like this and I was like, oh my God, I'm so cold. And it was like making me just so uncomfortable. You couldn't get comfortable. You'd think like, oh, you're all cozy underneath the blankets, heating pad, all nice and warm. Like, no, it was not good. It was so uncomfortable. It was insane. And then on top of it, I started feeling super, super, super nauseous. Like, I knew I was gonna throw up. And if you've ever had this kind of flu before, you know that that's like the worst feeling when you know it's coming and you know you're gonna have to throw up. And not to get TMI with you guys, but I am being honest in this video. So stomach issues only happened once. Once for each thing. So I had the worst stomach ache ever. And then right directly after that, probably 5 seconds later, and I'm looking in the mirror and I'm like, oh my God, I just feel so sick. My body is hurting and more TMI is coming. I thought to myself, I'm like, I just had a baby, what was it, a couple days ago, 4 days ago, and at the time, and I'm like, if I like go to throw up like that feeling, I was like, I'm gonna like bust through my stitches. Like, this is gonna be so uncomfortable, so bad. Meanwhile, I threw up once. It was a lot. It was like, I will never eat the dinner that I ate ever again. R.I.P. tortellini soup. However, when that was over, I felt so much better. I mean, I still had the aches and pains and everything like that, but once I was done with like the stomach issues, I felt a world of better. At least the stomach things only lasted once, and no, my stitches were fine. It ended up being fine. It was just like in my head, because every time I coughed, I like couldn't cough really like forceful because that would hurt. So I don't know. Am I making any sense? That night, it actually got a little bit better and bearable, and I was able to fall asleep, and I slept fine. Like, well, as fine as you can sleep with a newborn who's a couple days old. But she's been such a good sleeper ever since day one, so that's been good. But I ended up sleeping through the night, got up the next morning, and was hoping to feel as good as my husband felt the next day. I did not. It lingered for the rest of the next day. I just felt lethargic. I felt tired. I still felt achy, but I did not feel like shaky, and I wasn't super, super cold. Again, I did not take my temperature. I probably should have, but I didn't. And, you know, in hindsight, that probably would have been a good idea. So I don't know if I had a fever or not. But either way, after all of that was done, I felt better by Sunday morning. So mine lasted from Friday night at 7 o'clock until probably Sunday morning at like 8 o'clock. And then when I woke up feeling like a little off, but by the time I moved around and had coffee and actually ate some food, I felt a lot better. So I want to know from you guys, what do you think? What do you think? Did we have this virus? Because I know that some people have the respiratory issues and the breathing problems and the fever and all of that, but then a good chunk of people have the digestive issues and the stomach problems and don't really have the fever and, you know, other things. So was this a flu? Was this like a 24-hour bug that we all got? Was this, I don't know, what was it? And the crazy thing about this is my mom and my sisters, both my sisters and my sister's 3 kids all came on Monday to my house to like hang out with Austin, just to like, you know, play with him and everything like that when he was feeling sick. They were all here. Not one of them got sick. Rewind to about the beginning of February, so about a month and a half-ish earlier, they all had gotten sick. So my mom had gotten this same 24-hour bug, my sister had gotten it, all of her kids had gotten it, and my other sister had gotten it as well. So they all had this weird sickness, and then we stayed away from them just because, not even anything to do with like quarantining or anything, but like when I know someone in my family is sick and I was pregnant, I was like, let's just stay away. We're just gonna like, you know, wait till the contagiousness is out of the air and everything before we go and see them again. So we didn't get it right away, and we hadn't seen them in a long time. and then all of a sudden they were here when Austin was right in the thick of it, throwing up for both of his awake time and then his nap time, and they were all around him that entire time and they did not get sick. So I know they're saying right now that if you get the virus you can't get it again. Who knows if that's even true in the short term or the long term, but that's what they're saying for short term. So I'm wondering, did they have it back in February before it all blew up, and then did they not get it again because now they're immune? So I'd love to hear from you guys if you think that we had it or not based on our symptoms. Again, it could just be a flu, it could be a fluke. I would love to get an at-home test for the Voldemort virus because I would love to know if we had it and then now we're kind of like immune, if that's a thing. So that would be amazing, because then, you know, I could know if I'm carrying it and then I will stay away from everyone. But if I'm not, then I'd love to go to Target and like go buy some toilet paper instead of putting it into my pickup cart and, you know, not getting it. I've ordered toilet paper, Cheerios, certain kinds of meats, paper towels, all of these things that are in stock when I fill my cart, and then I go for grocery pickup and they are putting everything in my car, and then I go and I look and they're like, oh, out of stock, out of stock, out of stock. I'm like, okay, I give up. So I'd love to just go into a store and get these things. I am staying away from stores right now. I was getting coffee from like Dunkin' and things like that, but I'm not even doing that anymore. And to be honest, I really feel for any of the women who are pregnant right now, because if you didn't know, with my daughter, before I had her, I was going twice a week for non-stress tests, and then once a week for the ultrasound for the non-stress test, and then it was at the end of my pregnancy, so I was also going to a doctor's office visit once a week. So I was doing 3 office visits per week at the end of my pregnancy. So I am just so thankful that I don't have to do that anymore. And I had to bring my son because my husband was working. So it was just like such a crazy time. And I know that a lot of appointments are being canceled right now if they're not like a necessity. So it's just nuts. I feel for all of you pregnant moms out there. And even, you know, even just anybody who needs to go to the doctor or who needs to have to put themselves in like harm's way and put themselves in these situations where we don't really know. They say that it can't hurt newborns or babies or kids as much or as bad, and that's great, but it's hard to know what to believe. It's hard to know the truth. So I just want to say to you guys, I hope you're all staying safe. I hope you're all staying home. I hope this is over soon. I just can't wait to get out there. I said to my husband the other day, I know it sounds so stupid of all of the important things going on right now, but I'm like, I can't wait to go to Target and blow a hundo. Like, I can't wait. I don't even know what I'm gonna buy. I have no list, but that was just a joke. But I know there's a lot of important things going on right now, and a lot more important things going on right now, I should say. But just trying to make light of kind of like a scary situation. I hope you guys are all doing good. I hope you're all hunkered down, and we definitely are. We're all safe and healthy now. Again, sorry for my background. You guys are, at least I did my hair and my makeup today. So listen, you got what you get. So I hope you guys have an awesome day in the infamous Q, and I will see you all very soon with a new video. Like and comment down below. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you guys really soon. Bye. On a side note, can we just talk about what's on my bed? So we randomly have a pump, an iPad, a phone, a water. Like, what is going on? Oh guys, also too, the last thing I wanted to say, these are the best prenatal vitamins. If you need a vitamin that doesn't make you sick, I've been taking these with my pregnancy with my son. My doctor approved of them. Let me show you the label. They taste amazing. They're just gummies. And yeah, they're coated in this sugary stuff, but what are you gonna do? They taste amazing and they don't make you sick. I take them with food, and I take them any time of the day that I am in my room and I pass by them and I'm like, yep, I need to take my vitamins today. So if you guys need them, you can order them on Amazon. They're about $10 for $90, or you can get them at Target. I know for sure Walmart has them. But yes, anybody out there who's looking for a good prenatal that doesn't make you sick and works, that one is good. See you guys in my next video. Bye.